federal appeals court today has temporarily blocked a subpoena to Senator Lindsey Graham in the probe into Georgia election fraud. The court ruling that for now, the South Carolina Republican doesn't have to comply with the subpoena from an Atlanta area grand jury demanding that he testify about his role in the effort to pressure Georgia election officials to change the results of the 2020 election. Newsy national correspondent Mara Siriani joins me live in studio with more details. Hey, Mara.
Well, Lindsay, good evening. Consider this a temporary win for the senator who has been trying to avoid appearing in front of a special grand jury in Georgia since that subpoena was issued last month. Now, a panel of federal appeals court judges granting him the opportunity to challenge the subpoena based on protections, they say, for lawmakers under the Constitution's speech or debate clause. The South Carolina Republican winning his first victory in the legal battle surrounding allegations that key Trump allies sought to change the results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. Graham was initially set to appear in an Atlanta courtroom Tuesday, but Sunday, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals sent proceedings back to the district court judge, asking her to consider whether the subpoena could be partially quashed or modified on grounds that the local grand jury is intruding on legal protections Graham is granted as a federal lawmaker.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
The Fulton County probe centers around a January 2021 phone call during which former President Trump put pressure on Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes to secure his victory in the state. In court filings, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis said the grand jury needs to hear from Senator Graham about at least 2 calls he placed to Raffensperger and his staff in the days following the election.
Why is the senator from South Carolina calling the Secretary of State in Georgia anyway?
Because the future of the country hangs in the balance.
Does it, though? I mean, it seems like it's pretty well.
It really does.
Graham said at the time he was trying to figure out how signatures were verified on absentee ballots. Lawyers for the senator argue his comments are protected because they related to legislation.
If the special grand jury is allowed to ask Senator Graham about questions relating to what he talked about with former President Trump, then that could conceivably get into legislative matters.
Graham is among a handful of key Trump allies that the Atlanta area special grand jury has subpoenaed.
This is not a singular voter fraud in one state. This pattern repeats itself in a number of states.
The Georgia election probe is among several legal battles facing the former president, whose Florida home was searched by federal agents earlier this month and whose role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol is being investigated separately by a congressional panel. And now the biggest issue on the minds of voters right now is threats against democracy that beat out 9 other issues in a new poll from NBC News, including cost of living, the economy, climate change, guns, and abortion. Lindsay, though, a whopping 74% of Americans believe this country, again, at least according to this poll, is headed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's certainly at top of mind for everyone right now. All right, thanks, Mara.